Welcome to 5 Minutes of Awesomism, where Peyton and I introduce you to people, places, and things that we think are turning negativity into awesomism. Thank you, Oho Sunglasses, for being our major sponsor. We love having you guys be our sponsor. Go to theohos.com. Order your sunglasses. There's so many different types. I just got sports sunglasses and everything. Use the code Awesomism, get 20% off your full order, and you will thank us for these. Also, thank you, Brandon Huddy, for always letting us use your music for everything. You know you're our favorite country recording artist. So today we have somebody who is so special in our life. He is really family to us.
Yes, and he's like a big brother to me.
Peyton loves this person more than anyone. Like this is, and I will tell you the reason why his name is Everett Dawkins. We call him Big E in our house. Everybody who knows us knows him as Big E. And Everett came into Peyton's life when Peyton was really struggling because he was a teenager and he was autistic and he knew he was different. And Everett came into his life and just changed it for him. Like everything changed for Peyton. Like it makes me emotional. Peyton went from I don't want to be autistic, I don't want to be different to I'm really cool because Everett says I'm cool, because Big E says I'm cool, so I'm cool and my life is cool and I love being autistic. He literally went from that because of Big E. And he would watch E on TV because if you don't know who Everett is, he played football for our favorite school in the whole world, Florida State Seminoles. If you know me, you know I eat, sleep, and drink Florida State. I go to bed when we lose. Like literally, I go to bed when we lose. Last year, I was in bed a lot because I was depressed. And then he went into the pros, and Peyton just could not cheer enough for E. Like
Yes.
everything is E in our house.
Yeah, when he was playing the Tampa Bay Bucks and the New York Giants.
Yeah, Peyton would sit there and just watch and scream. And I always knew I could be in the other room. And even though we'd have the TV on, I knew what was going on because Peyton would be in his room just screaming at the TV.
Yeah. Whenever I see him on TV, it's like, oh my gosh, it's Big E.
Yeah. So, E, thank you for coming on because you really are the perfect example of awesomism.
Yeah, thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me on. I've been watching you guys do this. I think it's awesome. And Lynn, you know, you're such a great mother, what you do with P all the time. And you've been doing for years. It's just a blessing to be able to see this journey that you guys have been on. And I'm proud of both of you because you have not changed, right? Like, I know I've been through my ups and downs, getting things figured out after sports, and you guys have always been there to, help me out no matter whatever it may be, whether it's words of advice or just something to uplift my spirit. So it's great to see, man. And Peyton, you've made such incredible strides, man. I'm so proud of you. At any time you need anything or you got a question or just need a little motivation, I'm a email away, phone call, whatever it may be. So no, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
We love you, E. You know that we really do. And what's so wild to me is I look at your kids, and I think, wow, we were close before they were even thought of. You know what I mean? And now they're their own little people, and they're just their own little so cute. It's just everything. Like it's just so great how our journey has been and how close we've stayed and how important you are in our life. And it's just I know you. The thing I'm the proudest of you for is that everything else never changed. Like you were just this guy who was playing football, and I watched some of the other players and they were so impressed with themselves. You were never like that. You were just out there as a job. And then when football was over, you did different things, but every single time you gave it your all. You knew you wanted to do something. And that's why I've always tried to be there to support you. I will do, this. I've told you this a million times. I will do anything for you. I will do absolutely anything for you. I will make phone calls. I will do anything to help you because I just love you. And, I think you're just such a great guy. Like, I wish there were more people like you because autistics have a 25% more likely to commit suicide. And I think too often there's not that Everett in their life that can change it. And you did for Peyton. I mean, we laugh, but you gave Peyton those pants, the A1 pants, and he wears these things all the
Yeah,
time.
because they're so comfy. I could just wear these up all the freaking time. Like I could literally have them be all over dirty, and I would still wear them.
Yeah, and that's not an exaggeration. That's the truth. I've
Yeah.
already had to say to him, Peyton, you're not wearing those tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's a pleasure. Like I say, man, it's just good to be able to help people out. And Lynn, even when you were on the board for my foundation, right? We did so much, and even with the little that we had, like we gave back to people. You were able to connect with a lot of people who came from autistic families and were struggling, or they had kids that were autistic, and you were able to help them out. And I just think, more people should be giving back and doing things that you're doing, because it's actually a purpose behind it, right? And you can see the proof in front of you. I'm all about being able to see the impact that's being made, right? Like, it's good to donate to a lot of these big companies and things like that, but you don't never see where your money goes, right? We were big on this is where it's going to, right? You made an impact that you can see right here up front, in view. So it's all about doing special things, and it's coming back around too, right? Like, we took a break and I had to get some things figured out, but it's all circling back around. We are, and that's another thing, the Seminole familyhood, it honestly brought us together. So that's how we're here today. So, and that's why I love my nose.
Yeah, I know. I know. But you're right. Because remember, we had that one guy, and he had a son on the spectrum, and then he had another child, and his wife didn't work because their son that was on the spectrum was really struggling. And remember, then he bought a car, and somebody had Jimmy rigged it. Remember, and then the car broke down, and he couldn't get to work, and he was going to lose his job. And you and I stepped up, and we ended up getting him another car. Remember, we
Yes,
people
ma'am.
stepped up. We pulled our network through
Yes.
Underdog, and we got him another vehicle. I remember he called me just sobbing. He said, no one has ever done anything like that for me.
Right. And you never know the impact you can make, right? And that to me is way bigger than just, dishing money out and, trying to, whatever it may be. I think that's something where we were able to see the impact that we made right in front of us. So, that's all those things. And you were on me because I never cared about posting any of those things or getting the
Yeah.
recognition for it. It's just we did the deed. We know it, right? Our good karma is going to come back around. But we were blessed to be able to do all that stuff, and I think it's been a while, but like I say, it's coming back around soon, I do believe. And with you guys have definitely been motivating, because you have not slowed down over the years. You guys have even ramped it up more than you were doing before. So it's been motivation to see you guys do what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do, because you were saying about the small things. It is. I remember I would have, like, either autistics or families of autistics or something, and they would know that you and I were close, and they would say, wow, he's one of my favorite players ever. He's such a good guy. And then I'd send you a text, and I'd say, can you follow this person on X? And you'd follow a member.
Most
And
definitely.
then people be like, oh my gosh, Everett Dawkins followed me. Like, I get these like DMs, and people be like, oh my
And
gosh, this is
yeah.
the greatest.
Right. And it's just a follow to me, right? So it's not like it's one of those things where it's not even that for me, it's why not, make somebody's day, and you never know, right? And that's just something I feel like that's easy for me to do, right? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and it was so great because I can remember one guy, he was really quiet and really shy, but he was a huge Florida State fan, huge Florida State. He was struggling on himself, and his parents were struggling financially. He had a brother on the spectrum, and I was always trying to talk to him and stuff, and just, keep encouraging him. And then one day he said to me something about you, and he said, yeah, he was one of my favorite players. And he said, I went to a game or something. I can't remember if it was a game or something. And he was like saying hi, because he was shy. He was saying hi to all the players. A lot of them ignored him, and you didn't. And that
Yeah.
really stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, he's really one of my very favorite guys. And I said, I sent you a text, and you followed him right away.
Hmm.
And he came, and he just, And I remember, like, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks later, he said to me, that was one of the lowest points of my life. And then Everett followed me, and I realized that I was okay. I was okay. And it was such a little thing, but it was such a big thing to him.
Right.
It, you know,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know, right? That's why it is nothing for me to hit that follow back button and connect with people because you never know how much, you're brightening their day up, right? You never know what people are going through. And football was something that was able to bring people from all backgrounds, all races, and connect them. And we were able to celebrate and just enjoy life, right? Have a good time.
I completely agree. And that was such a cool, and I remember thinking at that moment, wow, this is such a tiny thing, but it was such a big thing. And that's what Peyton and I are always trying to, express with the awesomism. Because people ask me all the time, what is awesomism? I'm like, it can be everything from a smile in the grocery store to somebody that looks like they're really struggling to actually doing like we did when we got the guy a car. It's everything in between. It can be going and sitting on a park bench and just having it be quiet for 10 minutes you're breathing in beautiful air. Like I know, one time B and I were talking and she was struggling because, little EJ was it was first time away from mommy and she was crying. And I told her, I said, are you okay? I sent her a text. I said, are you okay? And I said, I love you and I'm here if you need. So I'm just bawling. And I said, listen, let me tell you something. I bawled so hard when Paul went to kindergarten, but I bawled the hardest when Paul went to college. I
Yeah.
sat in the parking lot bawling and bawling and bawling and bawling. And Paul comes down the stairs and he sees me in the car bawling and he's like, come on. Like he was like,
I believe it.
and she and I just laughed about it that, I got her to laugh, right? Because, she was picturing Paul getting mad at me for crying when he's, 18 years old. But, that's what awesomism is, just being there for somebody.
Right. Yes, ma'am. It is. It definitely is. And you never know how much of a difference you can make for people just by being there and being that hand on the shoulder, just pat on the back. So, that's the minimum that we have to do. That's easy to me, right? That's nothing. That takes no time. So why not do it?
That's exactly right. And, as long as I don't get asked to go to Gainesville, I'm good.
That's one place. That's one thing I can't do. I can't help you with that one.
I know. I'm the same. Trust me, I'm the same way. Peyton is so funny about it because, I told you this before. When my older kids were little, and if they were really smart mouthy during the week, they
Yeah.
were the gator of the week. And they would be crying, I don't want to be a gator. And I would be like, don't be a smart mouth.
I know that's right.
I know. They would always say to me when they were little, what would you do if I became a gator? And I would always say the same thing, change the locks on the door. And they're like, that's not nice.
Yeah, you're right. No, yeah, change the locks on the door. My kids, they don't know yet, but they will know. You can go anywhere in the world, right? You can't go to Clemson and you cannot go to Florida. And you can't go to Miami either. I might negotiate with you on Miami a little bit, but Gainesville is not going to happen, right? It will not
Exactly.
happen.
Exactly. It's so funny. My kids were like, because it was just so funny. They were little and they would, and their other favorite thing always to ask me, which was so ridiculous. And they didn't understand because they were little. And they'd say, who would you cheer for if Florida State played the Chicago Bears? Because they knew they were both my favorite team. And I would always say, it will never happen. But what if it did? I would always say, Florida State, because the Chicago Bears could have a gator on it. So I always cheer for FSU. Right?
Makes sense, right? Yeah, makes sense.
I know. And then they'd say, if the Gators played the Packers, because they know I hate the Packers, right?
Yeah.
If they played, who would you cheer for? And I'd always say, never happened. They said, but if it did. And then I would say the Packers because there might be a Seminole on them. And my kids were like, that's ridiculous.
It makes sense though, right? Yeah, it makes plenty sense to me.
People would say to me, you actually say that to your kids? I'm like, yes. Have you seen my Christmas tree? It's just all FSU.
It's all Florida State. That's right. That's the perfect way to be.
Oh God. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We loved having you. And obviously we're going to be in touch every day because we're working on stuff together. But
Yes, ma'am.
I love having you on here. You're just, how much we love you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm glad to be on here, Lynn. I appreciate you guys inviting me. It's always good to see you and Peyton, man. I'm so proud of both of you because,
It's made
like I
me
say, you're
feel
yeah, you're continuing to you're moving on and upward, right? You're not slowing down. Your momentum is rolling. I see you guys. I see how active you are on social media. How you're doing. Keep doing it. Continue doing it because a lot of people give up on things, but you guys, you're not giving up. You're still rolling. And like I say, I'm proud of everything that I see you guys doing, and keep rolling.
Thank you so much, E.
Thank you, E.
And thank you for coming on, and thanks for being you, because really
Okay.
you have been, I cry every time I tell you this, but you have been a game changer in our house. You really truly changed Peyton. And
Yes,
I've told 100 people this when they come to me, and their child is going through the struggles. And I always tell them, they say, what changed for Peyton? And I always say, he had Everett Dawkins in his life, and it just was a game changer. And I wish I could put 1,000 Everett Dawkins out there, because there's a lot of autistics that really need it.
right, man. And hey, I wish I could help all of them out too, right? You know what I mean? Because it's really that easy to just be there for people, or whatever. Either way, you can kind of help them out, right? So,
Yeah.
no, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, E.
Thank you,
All
E.
right, so
Go
thank you
Knowles.
guys.
Go Knowles.
All right, go Knowles,
Bye.
All
Bye.
right, y'all.